Welcome back to Spoiling Movies, everyone. My name is Chris, and I'm going to tell you all about a movie I just watched. I'm going to go in depth, and I'm going to spoil things. This week's movie is Source Code, starring Jake Gyllenhaal. Before I get started, I'll give you my pre-spoiler opinion. I think it's a pretty darn good movie. Action, sci-fi, mystery kind of thing. I think it's pretty neat. I think you should watch it. Thumbs up. Check it out if you're able. The opening credits, you see Chicago. There's a neat little miniature train going by some houses. It looks really cool, but I could tell it was miniature. It looks nice, though. Jake Gyllenhaal wakes up on a train, and he's got a woman across from him that looks like Liv Tyler, but it's not Liv Tyler. It's this other actress. And he doesn't know what he's doing there or who she is, but she's talking to him like she knows him. Like, Sean, why are you acting weird? What's going on? And he's like, I don't know you. Somebody walks by and spills some coffee on his shoe. So he starts running around, just freaking out. He goes into the bathroom, and there is a mirror. He sees his reflection, and he's a different person. So it's Jake Gyllenhaal. We see him as Jake Gyllenhaal, but he sees himself as a different character in this world. So, of course, he's naturally, freaking out, what the fuck is going on? Kaboom! There's a giant fucking explosion. The train explodes. He's fucking scrambled. He starts getting these weird visions and things, and then he wakes up in a different place. And he's, hanging upside down in this weird little dark chamber thing, and there is a woman talking to him. She says, Captain, tell us what you saw. He says, I was flying, and then I woke up on a train. She says, who bombed the train? And he's like, I don't even know what's going on, whatever. And she's like, he needs to go back. He's put 8 more minutes, send him back. So he's like, what the fuck? Wakes back up on the train. Comedian Russell Peters is on the train, real-life comedian. He's also playing a comedian in this movie, and he's, reading his, stuff, working on his act or whatever while they're sitting on the train. Some guy's leaving the train. He drops his wallet. Guy, brings him the wallet as he's leaving the train, and Jake Gyllenhaal notices there's a guy. Jake Gyllenhaal, Sean guy, goes into the bathroom and sees a little air duct thing above, opens it up, and sees the bomb. Finds the bomb, doesn't know what to do with it, so he starts talking to people. He's like, should I do anything? What should I do? They don't say anything, so he's just like, okay, I'm just going to leave it alone. And he walks back out, and he decides he's going to pretend to be a security person. Takes his wallet out, and he's like, this train security, everybody turn off your electronics. And they're like, bullshit, you're not security, whatever. And he's like, hey, I need you to just shut them down. Shut down all your laptops, all your cell phones, all that shit. And then, boom, another giant fucking explosion, back into the chamber. Wakes up back in the little fucking chamber thing. There's a little screen where he's talking to the lady that had been talking to him earlier. She informs him that he has been there for 2 months. He thought he just woke up there, now. He's asking questions like, what am I doing here? What is going on? You keep putting me into these simulations. And the lady on screen is like, these are not simulations. There was an attack earlier this morning, and we need to figure out what it is. The bomb is using a cell phone detonator. So he's got another 8 minutes to get to know the passengers and get to know the lay of the land, but it's always 8 minutes. Jake talks Liv Tyler girl into helping him watch people. He's like, pretend it's a game. What do you think about those people? What are they talking about? What are they doing? So she starts explaining, who some of these people are. She tells him, oh, that's that comedian, Max, or whatever is what they call him. Well, that guy's obviously, studying for school or something. So she's, helping him try to figure things out. So this time he decides to get off the train when it stops. He follows some dude that seems shifty, seems suspicious, follows him into a restroom, and the guy can see that he's looking at him, but he's acting weird. He's whatever. And he follows the guy out of there onto a bench. You're acting pretty nervous, pretty shady. And he's like, I have motion sickness from being on the train. And he's like, where's the phone? Where's your phone? And he grabs the guy's briefcase, he punches him in the face, and starts going through his briefcase. And he's like, where's the fucking thing? Where is it? And then explosion goes off in the distance, and he sees it. And somehow he ends up falling down onto the train tracks, and the train that's coming comes and kills him. So then he's back into the little fucking chamber thing. But this time he's starting to get cold, and the electronics in the little chamber thing are messed up. So he's not able. He's like, what am I supposed to do? What are you guys doing? What's going on? And they're like, you can't hear what they're trying to say. We see that they're in some government location or something where they're trying to reach him, but they're not able to. They're like, something's going on, something's bad here. So he's fumbling around. He's messing with wires, trying to fix things. One of them says he doesn't have much time if things stay like this. He's finally able to talk to the man in charge guy, that guy. The Liv Tyler lady, she had gotten off the train when had gotten off, so he's like, I saved that woman. She's alive. Like, she wasn't on the train when it exploded. And like, the guy explains, she only survived in source code, and explains what source code is. And he sort of talks very strangely. He talks a little bit like this, and the way, the inflection of his voice is very odd. When a person is dying, their brain has 8 minutes of functionalness that before they die, where they can still remember things. So basically, he's explaining that they had a dying brain that they were able to put into the source code and put it back into the memories of a different person that died on that train. Now they can figure out who done it. They even look up her name, the lady that was on the train, and they say, no, she did die on the train. Like, that happened earlier today, and it's done. She's dead. All those people are dead. That already happened. And there are going to be more attacks coming, and they need to know who did it and how it happened so they can avoid the future shit. They have reason to believe that the guy is going to detonate another one, and it's going to be a dirty bomb inside the city. And they say, you need to get to the gun on the train. There's a gun in there, and you need to get to it. So since he's already been through the motions a few times when he's back on the train in the guy's head, able to do things preemptively, like, he's like, this guy's going to spill the coffee, that guy's going to make a joke, that guy's going to fall over or whatever, do something, this guy's going to come check for my fucking ticket. So he's just like, he's ready for all that stuff. So he goes into the place where he's able to bust open a security door and bust open a little container where he finds the gun that they were talking about, but security knows that he's in there. They come in there and they tase his ass. When he wakes up, the Liv Tyler lady is there, and he asks if he can use her cell phone because he wants to call his dad. And then another big old fucking fiery death. So he's back in the weird chamber room. He sees the woman that he's been talking to on his little monitor thing. He sees that she has a tag and it says like CAON something. She says, this will end when you finish the mission. Back on the train again, he asks Liv Tyler girl to contact Coulter Stevens. He goes up to some lady on the train and asks her, like, do you know what CAONC or whatever, what that means? She says it's a Air Force tag thing. And the lady Liv Tyler girl comes up to him and says, what I found out was Stephen Coulter's is dead. And apparently that is him. So he found out what his name was and found out that he's actually dead at the time that they have put him back on the train. Of course, eventually 8 minutes passes, back talking to the woman in the chamber. He asks, am I dead? So she starts explaining what is going on. He was a military dude. Plane went down and he was dying. They were able to keep his brain alive and use him to, with the source code so they can figure out this other shit that's going on. So he's like, so I'm just imagining that I'm in this weird little chamber thing? And then once he realizes that's what's going on, the chamber starts to change and get larger and weirder. And they're all kind of surprised, what was that about? How'd that happen? He says, I called you. I tried to call you when I was there, and you should have gotten that. And they say, it doesn't matter what you do in the source code reality. These are parallel realities. Whatever you did in there is not going to affect what already happened and is happening now. If you finish this mission, we'll let you die. Figure out who the bomber is so we can, get something done. So then they sort of skip ahead and they make it look like he's been doing that multiple times, back and forth, still trying to figure it out. Don't know how many times they've been doing that, but he's been trying for a while. He's ready to give up. He's like, I can't do shit. Apparently I'm already fucking almost dead, so what's the point? They play a voicemail from his dad to him in the little capsule thing, the chamber thing, and his dad says something kind of motivational. And that gives, and he's like, put me back in. I can do this. So this time when he's back in, he goes and gets the gun. He takes the cell phone out of the bomb, and he calls who's on the other end of the phone, and he's looking around the fucking the train to see if somebody answers, then that's who the person is. So he sees that somebody picks up the phone when he's dialing, and he goes over and he puts the gun in, and he's like, it's fucking over. You're not gonna fucking do this. I got you now. And he's like, I was talking to my girlfriend. What's going on? Just try it again. Try it again. That wasn't me that you're looking for. So then the guy from the beginning that had left his wallet that the other guy gave him, he gets a call, and he sees him from outside the train. He gets off, so he follows him off the train, and he follows this guy to a van, and he's like, fucking show's over, man. I figured you out. This is your wallet, isn't it? You wanted people to think that you died in that fucking explosion. And he's like, I don't know how you figured that out, but would you like to see what I've got planned? Jake Gyllenhaal's like, fucking slow down. What are you doing? He's got this box that has a lock on. He starts to open it. It's got like American flag on it or something. And he opens it, and it's got a bunch of shit connected to wires. It's a big old crazy looking dirty bomb, I guess. And he's like proud to show it off too. He's like, there's not a lot of people that could do what I'm planning to do here. Jake Gyllenhaal gets distracted, and the other guy's able to shoot him. And he also shoots the girlfriend. She kind of shows up. And then the bad guy is basically like, this world is hell, and we need to burn it all down and start over. Traditional bad guy stuff. I really like his character, though. He's very creepy. So he ends up dying next to girlfriend lady. And it's kind of shitty and sad. But they know there's a second cell phone that is involved with the bomb. They know who the fucking culprit is. They're back in their weird government office thing, and they're like, the mission accomplished. We figured it out, and like, it was a success, and we're going to keep using him. It was perfect. Source code works perfectly. And we're going to use him for future missions. Yes, we can keep this going, and fucking it'll be great. But the lady that he's been talking to kind of has sympathy for him and wants to let him die. When he's back in the source code thing, he finds the culprit guy before he's able to do anything, fucking locks him up with some handcuffs and shit, grabs his cell phone, calls the fucking authorities, and he's like, I am a sick, twisted piece of shit, and I need to go away for a long time, so I can't hurt anybody. And this is my name, and this is who I am. So he confesses for the bad guy. Main dude is like, we need to wipe his brain and start over for the next mission. But in the source code thing, Jake Gyllenhaal dude is using bad guy's cell phone to make another call. And he talks to his dad as the guy that he is inhabiting. The dad is like, yeah, my son died earlier today, and it's terrible. I wish I could have said things to him. I wish this and this. It's really touching. It's an emotional. It's kind of fucked up. And then we're able to actually see his body in the real world in that government place. The lady walks over, opens up this box, and it's basically just like Jake Gyllenhaal's torso just laying in a box, like hooked up to shit. He's gonna make these last moments count while he's in the source code thing. He says, he walks up to the Russell Peters comedian guy, and he's like, I'll bet you $5 or $15 or something that you can't make everybody in this train car laugh. And he's like, fine, I'll take that bet. So he stands up, he starts talking, he starts making everybody on the train laugh. Jake Sean guy kisses the Liv Tyler woman, and then lady in real life turns off his life systems, and then everything freezes. And there's like a cool shot where they're showing everybody on the train and everything's frozen. But then a minute later, everything comes back, and he continues living. And everybody continues living, just continuing life as this other guy in the source code. And him and Tyler lady, just walk around and, hang out. He sees a reflection of himself. He's still the other guy, so I guess he's trapped in his body in the source code. And then back in the real world, the lady that he was talking to gets a text from Jake dude saying the source code works perfectly. You're gonna need me for a mission. And it's like it happened before all of this. It was like in the past when she got the text. So apparently he's created a new timeline, and he says, just make sure to remind me that everything's gonna be okay. And that's the movie. I guess Jake Gyllenhaal is going to live out the rest of his time in that timeline where he still possibly has access to talk to people in the real world, but his mind is inhabiting another human. It's mind space time travel. And I couldn't be happier. I really enjoy this movie very much. I think it's great. I'm a big fan of Jake Gyllenhaal. And a lot of it takes place on the train, so it's kind of like a tight spaces, creepy... Not creepy, but like... I like when movies do like a tight spaces where it feels more intimate, you get to know the characters and shit. But also like he's in a tight space when they show him like in the weird mind chamber thing. I thought it was really good. I recommend it pretty highly. It's a good action one. It's an interesting like mystery sci-fi sort of thing. I think everybody that was involved was pretty good. Actually, the boss man guy that I said was that guy. He was actually one of the weaker parts of it for me, just because it felt like he was doing a character the way that he was speaking. It's like, I'm sort of supposed to be maybe like a little bit of a bad guy, but not really. I mean, I don't know. Like, there was something about that. But, I mean, everything was fucking great. I liked it a lot. All the effects were cool. All the acting seemed great. The music seemed fine. Everything was pretty fucking good. It's above average. It's a pretty darn fucking good movie. I'd say check it out. I think it came out in 2011. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Leave me a comment and let me know how you're feeling or thinking. So whatever. Later, guys. Peace out. It's the whole fucking movie. It's the whole fucking movie? What? So the guy, wallet, leave wallet, gives wallet to dude, leaving train. They even, nothing has happened. Yeah, whatever. Whatever. And sees that the guy walks to the next.
Wackaroni. Can you hear me, Wackaroni? He's been pronouncing Gyllenhaal wrong this entire time. Recharge the source code and send him back in.